Games Workshop made a card game for Warhammer 40,000. Seems like everyone was making card games back then. Even Power Rangers had one, but I'm not going to touch Power Rangers. I didn't really take an extensive look into this card game. I'm not going to go too crazy over it. I just got the starter deck because I felt like it. If I find another one for a reasonable price, I'll probably get that too for giggles. As far as I do know, they had a starter deck for each of the main races that were out during that time, which is Space Marines, Orcs, Eldar, Chaos, Tyranids, Imperial Guard, and I recall seeing a Dark Eldar deck. That was also new during the 3rd edition, which is when this card game, I believe, came out. Now, before I open it, I'm going to take a look at the box. The front is a Tyranid warrior. The top, Tyranids. Bottom is just a barcode. The right side, what the hell does that say? Oh, it's just some legal crap. And the other side is the contents, which is a 55 card deck and a rulebook, apparently. The rulebook for this game is actually just as extensive as much as a tabletop game is. It's really a lot of pages, a lot of reading. This is the most I've read in any rulebook for any card game. It even has the lore for the armies in the game, which comes no surprise since 40k is all about the lore. And even has some clarifications, battle strategies, deck building tips, all sorts of things. The good thing is it has a checklist, which is nice to see. But the problem is that the cards don't list any rarity. I don't know what's common, uncommon, or rare, which does bother me quite a bit. Another thing I thought was interesting was on the back, it does mention a listing, which is essentially registering an account on a website so you can keep track of your wins and losses in this game. Apparently, they had some kind of system here where you would earn points for each game you play at home, which I thought was irrelevant since you could just say you played 1 billion. Who's going to check? And then the second one, which was Hive World, that's a cute name for it, where you played at stores such as tabletop shops or card shop hobby stores. And the last one is Campaign Games, which was major tournaments, which I kind of wonder if they even had major tournaments back then. Now, all this point gathering seems kind of odd, but apparently they want you to save the booster wrappers. They want you to send the booster wrappers to them, and they can be redeemed for points for exclusive cards you can only get online. And the kind of cards you unlock depends on your points from your rank. So that's an interesting system they had there. They really wanted people to get involved, which makes me wonder what cards are out there that are really obscure that you can only get from the online registration. And that's pretty much all the contents of the rulebook. I do want to mention that it does advertise a 3rd edition starter deck for the tabletop game. So this did come out during the 3rd ed of the rulebook. And Eldar's coming out this summer, which was the summer of that time. But yeah, good old Dark Eldar. Now I'm going to open the deck here, see what the contents are. I do like how it has this little gold line around. It's pretty cute. So I'm going to go ahead and unwrap that. It's just Tyranid, so let's see what it's like. Alright then. Sickle Swarm. It's cute. Another Sickle Swarm. Another Sickle Swarm. Death Gaunts. Okay, had a hard time reading. That's what I said. Death Leaper. But, alright, Death Gaunts, Death Gaunts, Death Gaunts. Gene Stealers. Those assholes. More Gene Stealers. Termagants. Termagants. Terragants, not Termagants. Or Okay, Terragants, that's weird. So it looks like they're trying to bank on the whole entire Tyranids having different kind of names for their subspecies or sub whatever the fuck they are. Ripper Flood, as opposed to Ripper Swarm. Alright. Ash Waste. Okay, so this is terrain. So I guess it's all the monsters or bugs, whatever you want to call the Tyranids. Ash Waste, terrain, more terrain, molten. Okay, so going back to some more here, more Tyranids. A Bioflex. Biofex. So it's a card effects, but the bio. Shit, what's it called? I don't even remember what it's called. I haven't played Tyranids in ages. I do like how he's vomiting on that guy, though. That sucks to be him. Okay, so I guess it's some kind of objective card here. Some more terrain. Forest. Rifes and Moons. Arbory. I can't even read this shit. Terminal Hive. Myth. Magnor Atoll. Catalyst. Xanthrope? Catalyst. Okay, it's a Xanthrope. It's a Catalyst. Alright. Hive Tyrant. Okay, that's a familiar one, finally. Good old Hive Tyrants. I kind of prefer their old appearance. I don't really like their appearance they got at 6th edition, I believe. I prefer their old one. Malefactor. Malefactor. Mal. That was a cute model. Ripper Swarm. Okay, there is a Ripper Swarm. Harpies. Is that a harpy? I thought that was a Hormignon jumping up because harpies don't have those little sides at the end, if I recall correctly. No, whatever. Pyrogonts? Yeah, this has a lot of names for Tyranids that weren't in the card game, or card game, blarg, that weren't in the tabletop game. Biorobes. Biovores. Termagants. Okay, so there's Termagants. Warriors. So it's just Tyranid warriors, but just call them just warriors. And that guy right there doesn't look very happy. Not that I would be. Haruspeck. God, it's nasty looking at this thing. 3 of those. Deathspitter Raveners. Alright, so that's something from the tabletop too. Ancient Ravener. Ravener? What's that? Ravener? Yeah. Raveners. I don't know if that's a reference to that one Ravener, the Red Terror, by being ancient. And that's it. So there's going to be a character in here. Oh, I made a High Tyrant's a character. But I did take a look at the rule book. I have to say, this game is kind of wacky. It plays like War in a way, but at the same time it doesn't. There really isn't much of a hand, so to speak, you have. When you start the game, you draw 6 cards, and then you and your opponent take turns placing 1 card on one of the fields, about 5 of them on the field, I believe. You place 1 card on each field, and then you draw 4 more cards from your deck, and that becomes your hand. And from there on, but you flip it on the other side, and you get those abilities instead of what the abilities were down there for your hand. And oh, I don't know. It's just, I gotta read the rules again. It was really whack. And what I don't like is they kept the dice factor. You don't ever want dice in a card game. You don't want that random factor. You want to minimize as much random factors as possible. And for them to utilize a dice method in this game was really ass. Whenever you had to roll a dice, you would take the top card from the top of your deck, flip it over, that's your dice roll. And that's really trash, in my opinion. Unless you stack your deck with a bunch of 4s or 3s or whatever you need to pass the dice, probably 5 and 6s. It's going to limit what kind of cards you have in your deck to begin with. I don't know, the whole entire game it sounded really flaky when I read the rule book. I'll read it again, but I can see why it faded away.